Tip number 260 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. Here's another one of those tips you better pay attention to. Is it really a bargain? Is it really a bargain? And this is hard. This is really hard to separate. You know, I've had a lot of people tell me, hey, if you buy this for $5,000, you're going to be happier than heck. $5,000 is the lowest we can go. For $5,000, you're getting the best quality item at the lowest possible price. I've heard it all before. Is it really a bargain? This is a tough question to answer. As a contractor, I've watched the skillful contractors go through and create an illusion that they are providing you with a bargain. And then after it's all said and done, you realize, you think to yourself, I don't think that was a bargain. I don't think I got a bargain. This is why I tell people to get 3 estimates all the time, a minimum of 3 estimates, depending upon the size of the job. Now, as a contractor, this isn't information you want to hear. You don't want any competition, but you got to be prepared for it. And you also got to be prepared for people to make up stories. I got an estimate right here that's $100,000 cheaper than your $102,000 bid. What? You know, yes, that's not a real estimate. That's come on. You got to be able to figure out who's, you know, trying to pull the wool over your eyes, something like that. But this is something that you can use to your advantage. Basically, create an illusion that you are providing someone with a bargain. And this can be done a variety of different ways. You know, we use premium lumber. You use the same lumber as somebody else does. They're using premium lumber. But when you use words like that, we're using premium lumber. Our contractors, I worked with a guy at one time who had 47 years, I think, in the business. And I think I had 30 years in the business. And he would tell everybody, hey, between me and Greg, we have 60 or 74 years in the business, you know, and they loved it. And it was like, so that's what I mean about creating an illusion. But again, it's deceptive. It's deception. I'm not a big person on deception. And again, I'm not going to provide you with information. The reason why I wrote the book was to provide you as a contractor with a way to make more money to where you can live a better life. Is some of that going to involve deception? I have never came across a business to this day that doesn't involve some type of deception, even in their advertising. Now, when I say deception, it's just another form of telling the truth. It just doesn't, you're making it sound better. What I just suggested, I had 30 years of experience, the other guy had 40 years of experience. Combined, that's 7 years of experience. But what if I learned everything in the first 10 years I was in business and he learned everything in the first 10 years? Then that tells you all you need is 20 years. Anybody with more than 10 years in the business as an individual is probably going to be pretty good at their job. So how do you really put a value on that? Now, I do realize that you can have 10 years of experience and then every year continue to gain experience. I got that. You tell me you got 40 years in the business. Someone else tells me they have 20. I know who has more experience, you know. And again, I say this, this is not a fact. This is just more of a generalization because I have met people who had, you know, when I first started, within 10 years of me being in the business, I could build a whole house. I could do the whole house, build the whole house except for the heating and air, all the HVAC systems and the flooring. I couldn't do the carpeting. I could put tile, wood floors in, not wood floors, the laminate floors in. I could do a lot of stuff, roof the house. I could do everything. And I knew people who had been in the business their entire life who only knew how to do one thing. They might be able to do it pretty good, but they only knew how to do one thing: frame walls. They only knew how to do 3 things: frame walls, joist the floors, and do hourly work. I ran across this plenty of times. So getting the best value, creating an illusion of the best value, this is a tricky thing to do. It's something you can actually do being honest. It's actually something you can do without lying or being deceptive. The reason why I say it's deceptive is because of the factors that are involved in it. If you're speaking to a rationally minded person, somebody who can sort through information and tell whether it's bullshit or not, you're not going to be impressing these people. You know, if you're talking to someone who's starting to like, yeah, that sounds good, these are people you're going to be able to impress. Well, the sad news is there are more people. Sad news for the clients is there are more people out there who can be motivated into believing something that could be deceptive, could be viewed as deceptive, but they don't see it that way. And I believe I was reading a book one time that said that over 80% of the people can be motivated into believing something. Now, if you think about it in reality, let's just get off the subject of contracting here and take a look at everybody in the United States or everybody in your city kind of a thing. You can basically see that there are more people who buy into irrational things that don't make sense. If someone comes on the TV and says, this is the best politician, I'm backing that politician, and you should also, and this is a sports hero of yours, you get caught up in it and you go, yeah, I'm backing that person. Might not be the best politician. You know, you might be missing a lot of information, but this is how a lot of people operate. So with that said, the fact that you could be creating an illusion, you could be creating a situation that might not be 100% true. It might not be 100% accurate, but it's going to help you in your sales pitch. It's going to help you get jobs. And if that's the case, and you feel comfortable doing that, then knock yourself out. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. Or do it in a different way. Because there are plenty of ways that you can pat yourself on the back and tell everybody what a great guy or gal you are. And be telling the truth. But you have to somehow figure out ways to wiggle that information into the conversations to where it doesn't sound like you're patting yourself on the back all the time.